feel like Jellicoe's engaged in some false advertising with their big challenge line, because these games aren't big challenges. Gunfighter is the run-and-gun entry in the Big Challenge series, and I think it's the best one of the four. The plot of Big Challenge Gunfighter is that after journeying about the frontier for a while, you return home to find your family farm has been taken over. As a gunslinger, that means you get to shoot everybody. The game itself is a run-and-gun, hitting A jumps, B shoots, and on every stage you have to kill a certain number of outlaws before you're allowed to progress. That's the number in the lower right-hand corner. If you haven't killed enough when you reach the end of the stage, then you have to go all the way back to the beginning. Something that can be immensely frustrating. Once you've killed enough outlaws and reached the end of the stage, then you go into a first-person boss battle, where hitting B will draw your gun, and then you have to position your crosshairs on the boss and hit the B button again to shoot them. You don't have to wait for them to draw, you just pull and shoot. Periodically, they'll fire back and do damage to you. Hit them a few times and then it's on to the next stage. There are 6 stages like this, and after the first 3 stages, you get an additional weapon. You change the weapons by pressing down and hitting A. That pauses the game, and it's the only way of pausing the game. Then you can select which weapon you're using in the lower right. The revolver is your default weapon. It uses bullets, and so if you run out, you can't shoot anymore. Bullets are randomly dropped by enemies, or you can purchase 10 of them for $50 by talking to the strangers who are leaning against things on some stages. And of course you get money because enemies randomly drop it. The knife is thrown in an upward parabolic arc, so it can go over obstacles or hit people who are high up. You can lower its trajectory by ducking and then hitting B, so that's not just lowering the position that the knife starts at, it's changing the angle that you throw it. The boomerang is the only weapon that will pass through walls. It has a shorter range, but that ability will make sure that you can get some additional outlaws. Both the boomerang and the knife don't use bullets at all, so once you have them, you'll probably want to lean on those more than the gun. Finally, there's the dynamite, which is thrown in a very short arc, and it causes a big explosion when it lands. It's also the only weapon that kills people in one hit. Everything else requires at least 2. The trade-off here is that dynamite is expensive. It costs 5 bullets to throw a stick. So you'll only want to break it out for special occasions. You have 3 lives and a pretty long life bar, though there's a lot of damaging terrain for you to step on, and getting shot quickly drains your health. Enemies will randomly drop medicine that heals 3 points back, and you have 3 lives to start with. If you lose a life, at least you don't lose any progress with killing outlaws, even though you're back at the start of that stage. However, there are no continues and there are no extra lives. Once those 3 lives are gone, it's game over and back to the start. Big Challenge Gunfighter is another one of those Famicom Disk System games that got absolutely no attention at the time and is effectively forgotten today. Nobody has anything to say about this one, positive or negative. My feeling is, it's okay. It'd be better without the outlaw requirement, which might make you have to replay the same stage 3 times in a row. And even though there's some heavy restrictions on lives and no continues, the game is pretty easy. Once you're capable of dodging the stream of bullets that come from some enemies, you won't have too much trouble. There's enough health being continuously dropped, and you don't even really need to worry about running out of bullets once you have the knife or boomerang. Big Challenge Gunfighter is a pretty simple game. There's no hidden secrets or anything you have to hunt for, and it plays just fine. It's also not really outstanding. It falls pretty much dead center average for me. It's competently made, looks decent enough, the music's pretty good. It just lacks that special something to really make it stand out.